More now on the economy and a troubling trend. Over a third of U.S. workers now hold multiple jobs just to keep going, according to a recent survey by ZipRecruiter. Tonight, our Meg Oliver shows us how many school teachers are working side hustles as we continue our series, Affordability in America.
On the ground was a little bag of gold.
From the time she was a child, Christine Regal knew she wanted to be a teacher.
I just love working with kids. I love the kids. I mean, I've been teaching for 26 years, and I still remain in contact with a lot.
But that devotion to her craft in Plainfield, New Jersey, requires quite a few side hustles to pay the bills.
Well, here I do breakfast duty and lunch duty. I tutor after school, and then I work at Cheesecake Factory.
1 in 5 K-12 teachers report struggling financially, with 71% of U.S. public school teachers working at least one additional job.
Where are you getting hit the hardest?
Oh, gosh, I'm getting hit everywhere. Like, just this past weekend, it cost me $70 to put gas in my car.
70.
Last night, I went grocery shopping. 2 bags of groceries, $160. That's where I'm getting hit. Repeat after me. Swipe. Swipe.
When school lets out for the summer, Regal will continue waitressing for extra cash. She also has to budget for school supplies. She usually spends up to $1,500 of her own money to supplement her classroom.
Are you budgeting differently so you're able to afford that next year?
Luckily, I have a co-teacher where we split everything, but I know she's feeling a hit herself, and we've already had conversations like we're going to have to probably take it easy, especially with her because she just has a new baby.
So now what does your retirement look like?
I'm going to just keep hustling and just keep putting money away, and then pray that when I hit 60 that things will be a lot different.
For now, the single 54-year-old will have to keep hustling for at least 6 more years. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Plainfield, New Jersey.
It's a Barbie camper of sorts designed by the guy driving it there, 30-year-old Molly Hightower, a handyman not far from Atlanta. He says he started with a go-kart base and the engine from an old power washer, and what he got is maybe the ultimate answer to higher gas prices.
Gas is getting too high, so I gotta do what I can. I can't do my regular cars. I gotta do my little mini cars. So if I can get $1 on pump 6, thank you.
Yes, $1. That little mini car, as he calls it, cost all of $3 to fill up entirely, compared to about $60 for his real car, a minivan. And while he can't pick up the kids in the mini car, he did install a rack for groceries, and as long as he stays off the highway, he says the local cops have been understanding. Oh, and yes, he says this is for real.
Gas has always been an issue. It go up, it goes down, things like that. But this time is when I'm actually starting to feel it.
And there it is. Maybe not the Barbie Dreammobile, but at $3 a tank, pretty close to a dream.
We've told you how rising food prices are turning up the heat on restaurants. In Texas, beef is so expensive, now barbecue joints are losing money on brisket, a staple menu item. Pitmasters are trying to steer people away from brisket and find other choices to satisfy their hunger. Jason Allen got a taste of the problem.
Russell Regals pulled 3 huge beef briskets out of the post oak smoke, carried them to the counter to be sliced pencil thick, piled high on a bun, and delivered to another satisfied customer, all the while knowing that lunch order just ate him for lunch.
Are you making any money right now serving beef?
No.
None at all?
None at all, even though we charge $35 a pound.
Brisket is the star of the state's barbecue scene, but Regal's cost for the once cheap cut of beef has climbed from $3.60 a pound in 2020 to more than $6.50 today.
Some people would say, well, just raise your prices.
Well, the American people can't afford it always. If I raised brisket to where I needed it to be right now, it would be $42 a pound.
Ultimately, Texas barbecue is about brisket.
Michael Fulmer is the co-founder of the Houston Barbecue Festival. The cost of beef, he says, is already starting to change the state's barbecue tradition.
You're a family of 4, you love barbecue, and you want to take your family out. That becomes a special occasion as opposed to a regular dining experience, and that's an important shift.
Pitmasters like Regal now regularly mix brisket trim into other dishes, sell the rendered fat, and encourage people to order something else.
Try the turkey. Turkey's probably one of the most underrated things on a barbecue menu. It's great. I eat pork ribs every single day. I mean, who doesn't like pork ribs? But this is Texas, and they want brisket.
For now, he is holding the line on prices, ordering only what he needs, waiting to see what barbecue becomes when the smoke clears.
Figure out what works and what you can get your customers to buy, and hope to God you sell it.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Jason Allen in Houston.
This is what comes from the factory from Cummins for your exhaust manifold, and it sucks. It sucks because...
CBS Mornings, I'm Jason Allen in Houston.
In the hills of Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, a familiar red roof catches the eye. Inside, the vinyl booths, Tiffany-style lamps, and yes, the salad bar you may remember from decades ago.
I mean, it's amazing the comments we have about, they have the red cups. Yes, we do.
Tim Sparks got his start working at a Pizza Hut that looked like this. He's now president of Dayland Corporation, which owns this franchise and more than 80 others around the country. They've redecorated many restaurants to rewind the clock.
It looks exactly like the one that I remember from when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what we were after.
Some Pizza Hut classics are now top-performing locations. Customers show up for a piece of their childhood.
It just brings back memories.
To share with their own kids.
When you finally find something that tastes how you genuinely remember it tasting, like, you can't let it go.
People come from 2 and 3 hours away, and I'm not making that up.
More restaurants are serving up nostalgia. Franchises like Burger King and KFC return to old-school logos and packaging in recent years. At Pizza Hut, they even brought back Pac-Man. But for Sparks, this is much more than a game. It's a mission to rebuild places where families can connect.
If we could get them in here as a family, they do tend to put their phones down and actually have conversations and speak with each other. I'm not going to tell you I know how to fix the world, but I do think that family is a good place to start.
He hopes to renovate more of his restaurants as long as he can find enough of those lamps.
They're hard to get?
Yeah, they're almost impossible to get.
A familiar taste.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Bringing people together.
Just like I remember it.
Again, Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania.
As consumer prices remain high, a growing number of Americans say they're cutting back on everyday items in favor of spending their money on services and experiences. According to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, consumer spending is falling most on goods that have seen sharp price increases. So take a look at your screen. Between December of last year and the end of February, spending on clothing fell about 5%. Spending on furniture fell 7%, and spending on sports equipment fell 6%. As Wall Street Journal economics reporter Rachel Wolf writes in her recent piece, the trend shows that recent inflation is not being driven by consumer demand, but by companies passing on increased costs to their customers. Rachel Wolf joins us now. So thanks for being here. You note that people are still spending on travel, financial services, healthcare. Why is that?
People are responding to inflation. It just doesn't look quite like what you see on the surface. So on the surface, it kind of seems like consumers are doing fine. But when you peel back and look at specific categories, specifically the durable goods that fill our closets and our garages, it's clear that consumers really are mad about inflation, and they're responding in kind by buying less.
Are we seeing this type of cutting back even among people who aren't necessarily struggling financially?
Exactly. We're seeing this happen among consumers all over the income spectrum. People are making trade-offs. That's why consumer spending is still relatively strong, but people are saying that they're changing their behavior. They are. Both can be true at once, and it's true for me. My partner and I just bought a house, so we're spending a lot on house stuff, but we're not spending on going out to eat. We're not traveling. We're trying to walk and bike rather than drive, and my experience is replicated all over the economy.
What else surprised you about your reporting?
That the economy is nuanced, as is always the case, but I think it's really easy. We got a pretty strong retail sales number for March, and my editor asked me, does that mean that our story isn't true anymore? And I said, no, our story is now even more true, because when you look deeper at the retail sales, you see things like the fact that restaurant spending was in fact pretty weak. That's an example of a place where prices are up and consumers are cutting back.
Well, congrats on the new house, Rachel Wolf. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
So as we just mentioned, inflation is at its highest level in 3 years. It's a direct consequence of the war with Iran. Fuel prices have been surging, and it's having a significant impact on American consumers and businesses. Jason Allen reports on the ways businesses are improvising.
For veteran restaurant owner Mark McGuire in Dallas, Texas.
2 cheeseburgers.
Business has never been quite like this.
Since the beginning of March is probably the craziest time I've seen in my entire career in the restaurant industry.
The craziest in your entire career?
Craziest. Outside of maybe the first 2 months of COVID.
He showed us his invoices, which now all include a fuel surcharge. He says vendors are constantly changing prices, and regular menu items are sometimes unavailable.
Well, I don't know tomorrow what I'm going to pay for my salmon. I don't know if I'm going to get my wine. It's crazy.
And customers are ordering less.
People come in here, they order an entree. They may or may not order an adult beverage and or a soda, and that's it. They don't. My dessert sales used to be about 7%. Now they're less than 1%.
Consumers across the country are now weighing where to spend their money. There's reason for concern, with inflation rising to a 3-year high. The latest data shows double-digit jumps in the price of gas and airfare compared to last year. Everyday staples like fresh vegetables, roasted coffee, and steaks also saw sharp increases. Back in Dallas, McGuire's thinking about when he will have to raise menu prices.
If you're already seeing people pull back, I would think the last thing you want to do now is try to increase prices even more.
It's pretty scary. It's a pretty scary place to be, for sure.
And McGuire's not alone in feeling the strain here. The Texas Restaurant Association recently surveyed its members. 77% of them reported that they're seeing a higher cost of goods from their vendors, and 66% of them are now seeing those fuel surcharges on their invoices. Nate?
Yeah, true ripple effect. Jason, thank you. I overthink during sex and can't stay hard. Honestly, this is why I recommend Blue Chew Gold.
Blue Chew Gold.